this session, we will address the issue of right to information or the right to know. And we have very special guest. Of course, let me first introduce the actor, screenwriter, and also director. And also, you know that the Mr. Yoo Tae is the Goodwill North Korean Human Rights Ambassador for Ministry of Unification. Let's welcome actor Mr. Yoo. Let's give them a warm appreciation. And then we have the Mr. Kim Geum-hyuk, and he's actually he attended the Kim Il-sung University in North Korea. That is probably the most prestigious university in North Korea. Then he also attended the university in China, Beijing, and in the process he got access to all the information which outside information about the great leader. In the process that he made a decision to come to South Korea. And it happens to be that he was the advisor to Veterans Ministry of the Veterans Affairs. So he was one of the youngest advisors. That's South Korean ministry. And let's welcome Mr. Kim Geum-hyuk. Okay. And then we have now the Ms. Kang Kyuri. Actually, I had a great time talking to her and found out that she was a table tennis player, and then she actually went to elite athletic university in Pyongyang. And then so if anybody who wants to learn about table tennis, and we can do that after lunch or during the lunch. And then she will talk about her experience. And interesting that she actually was in North Korea till last year. So she came to South Korea October 2023. So literally fresh off the boat. So let's welcome Ms. Kang Kyuri. I'm a law professor from Korea, and my first job was in New York, Brooklyn. I was assistant district attorney, prosecutor in New York, but I moved to Korea and I became a law professor, and I'm a volunteer and was researcher in North Korean human rights issues, and especially the children's issue and disability issue. And we do have a very compact session, about 40 minutes. So what we're going to do is that I will first show a clip. This is a very popular show in Korea. We talked about the North Korean people need to learn more about what North Korean refugees do in South Korea. And this is exactly one of the most popular programs in Korea. Let's just listen to the clip very briefly. Okay, can we have the clip, please?
북한에서 이렇게 탈북을 해온 사람들을 상대로 이렇게 설문조사를 했는데 내가 탈북을 하는 데 있어서 가장 어떤 것들이 영향을 미쳤냐라고 했을 때 제일 1위가 드라마였대요. 그리고 2위로 나온 것이 K-팝. 그리고 3위가 바로 라디오.
결국 1, 2위는 되게 자발적인 거네.
네. 그리고 라디오도 큰 영향력을 행사했다라고 볼 수 있는 거죠. 3위가 라디오. 저희 때는 드라마를 보고 탈북을 결심하고 또 드라마를 보고 한국을 알게 됐다게 되면 요즘의 사람들은 차라리 드라마를 또 안 믿는 사람들도 있대요. 너무나도 화려하니까 저게 정말 실제일까? 차라리 일반인들이, 연예인이 아닌 일반인들이 나온 이런 프로그램을 좀 가져다 달라 해서 들어간 게 6시 내 고향 이런 같은 정말 리얼. 근데 그런 거를 은근히 북한 사람들이 그걸 환호한다는
농촌이니까.
거예요. 왜냐면 농촌이니까. 근데 그걸 보고 눈이 화따닥 뒤집어지는 게 농촌이라 하게 되면 북한은 정말 못 사는 곳으로 유명하거든요. 실제로 우리 김아라 씨도 도시에서 태어났으면 저렇게 가난하게 안 살았을 거예요. 정말.
가난하게 사는 어깨가 아니야.
야.
네, 근데 저도 탈북하면서 그 농촌에 가게 되면 세상에 농사를 짓는 사람들 세트를 먹어요. 근데 남한의 시골 사람들은 뭘 먹냐 했더니 야, 니 밥을 이만큼 쌓아놓고 먹는가 하면 반찬이 진수성찬이야. 근데 시골 사람들이 하나같이 트랙터하고 자가용 승용차가 다 있더라는 거예요.
시장 나오고.
네, 그러니까 저거는 가짜가 아니다. 시골 사람들이 저렇게 잘 사니 도시 사람들은 정말 잘 살고 드라마의 모습은 진짜구나.
6시 내 고향이 최고네.
나 이거 너무 의외인데. 네?
Okay, thank you. First, can we have the PPT? And what I'm going to do is that I will give the first a podium, or rather opportunity to the lady first, Ms. Kang Gyuri. And we will actually conduct this session in Korean, so that we will actually have a little cultural experience. So please use this time to get your device and be ready. And then you will hear quite not only interesting, but we talked about what is the reason, and also how can we influence the people and young people in North Korea. And now you have opportunity to hear from the North Koreans. Okay? 그럼 let me ask the question to Ms. 강규리. 우리 강규리 선생님은
So, how did you come to South Korea? Can you introduce yourself? Hello, my name is Kang Gyuri. Until a few months ago, I was living in North Korea, and now I'm here. Before I came here, in North Korea, I watched a lot of K-drama and also KBS, like 6 o'clock show, or like very like general living or related shows. And what's wrong with Secretary Kim was one of my favorite.
to watch this later on. So that's one. 그리고 또
And what others? And that Hitler was also one of my favorites. So when I was in North Korea, I think I watched several rounds of it again and again. I fought with my friends. Here's Ji Tae-yu, who's actually in the drama. I thought he was really cool and handsome, and then my friend was very jealous. Is that why you came to South Korea? Oh, well, but honorably, I'm sitting next to him, so I feel so honored. And also, thank you for your attention to North Korea human rights and being the ambassador for this effort. And I would like to extend my gratitude to all of you who are here today as well. In North Korea, when I was young, I was born in Pyongyang, and I spent my childhood in Pyongyang, and my grandmother was religious, and for that reason, I was deported to province. At that time, Pyongyang was great, had better living conditions than other provinces with more rations. But in provinces, there was not much electricity. It was very poor condition to live. So my family, for some time, it was very difficult to adapt to that new environment. It was very painful. So I went to Pyongyang University, and while I was in college, I had this dream when I came to Pyongyang University, but they said that because of the bad, my 성분, because of my grandma being religious, they said I had limitations. So I was working, I went back to the provinces, watching K-drama, working during the day, and also I started to be curious about South Korea from then. So I'm going to ask a question. Among the panels, they talked about people getting punished or executed for watching K-drama. Do you know any laws related to that, or do you know anybody that you know who went through such punishment?
background, I need to verify what people said. Panel talked about people were actually executed watching the South Korean drama. So I just asked Ms. Kang that do you know anybody who been persecuted or prosecuted because they watched the drama? 한번 얘기해 주시죠.
Can you talk about it? Well, in North Korea, like the public execution is going on a lot. So I know many execution related to K-drama punishment. I have 3 cases. There was one 19-year-old in 2023. He was caught on spot. 1 month later, after trial, he was killed by shooting. So it was executed, right? Yes. And those who are related to that, if one person is caught, then they go down to the root. So there was another person who was 21 years old. This person's dad was an officer, so it was not execution, but he needed to go through training. But his dad tried to take him out of the camp, and then there was another investigation going on because of and then the dad and the child was executed together. And there was another friend of mine who was 23 years old, a girl, together with her boyfriend. They were watching K-drama. They were caught together. The boyfriend said that he led everything on this and got into trial. And I think in 1 month, the boyfriend was killed by shooting. And the girlfriend, who was 4 months pregnant, I heard that they got some extended period. So you know them personally.
The testimonies and in the morning talked about that there is a persecution, execution is actually happening in North Korea, and she just shared her intimate information, a person she knew. 그러면 시간
Okay, so due to the interest of time,
last the
I'm going to ask Kim Geun-hyuk. So you came all the way to DC. Now you're participating in this conference. Well, when you are in North Korea, maybe it's hard to get out of the country to go overseas. Maybe you could just stay there and, become prosperous as well. How did you come here this far? Well, actually, I think this is very related to the topic of the session, which is right to know. Like you said, I went to Kim Il-sung University. If I finished my study in China, went back to North Korea, maybe I would have been one of the very successful person in North Korea. However, I couldn't choose that route because when I went to China, there were things that I learned, and there are things that I came to know. I felt deceived and I couldn't go back to North Korea because of that. And more importantly, about the North Korean regime or about all the human rights situation in North Korea, poverty and so on, I could not turn my blind eye onto it. Okay, then, so you didn't know that when you're living in North Korea about this political prison camp and other things? Did you really not know about it, or did you just pretend that you didn't know? How did you find out about this information, about these things that you came to know? Well, for the last 30 years, there were many K-dramas or others flowed into North Korea by activists. Also, I have watched many South Korean movies and dramas and so on. I was very open-minded. However, I only took it as an entertainment. I didn't take that as something that made me question the North Korean regime. I don't think it led me to think that this is wrong. How did it happen then? I went to China, and then the lifestyle was totally different from what I had in North Korea. And I could meet people who I couldn't meet in North Korea, like people from South Korea or other countries. Then I could hear their perspectives on North Korea, which was shocking to me. because I have never learned such perspective before. But was it your just in personal shocking, or because I'm sure you're an elite, right? And smart people there, is it like, do you think your friends as well had the same shocking experience? Well, those who are studying overseas from North Korea, I think they mostly, I think 100%, they have an impression that there's something going on, there's something wrong. However, they usually turn a blind eye on it because they think that they cannot change anything. So some people just go back, and some people are like, how can we turn a blind eye onto it? So some people escape. I think there are two categories of people like that out of those people who are studying outside of North Korea. Just one last question before we move on to Ji-tae-yu. So like K-drama, movies, songs. And Ms. Kang, you said that you were influenced by that to decide to get out of that country. So the youth of North Korea, college students of North Korea, the young generation, future generation, next generation. So in order to give impact on that, what can we do? I can make it clear. I can clearly say that K-drama, cultural factors, it is still not as influential to create big changes. I think what we really need to do is to let them know what is the basic rights. In order to do that, we need to give them hope. How do we do that? We need to be able to give the hope, which is that they are in this very isolated situation. However, we can talk about what are the experiences that the North Korean defectors who used to share the same experiences, and then how these people are making efforts to help them. And we are not going to ignore North Korean human rights situation, and we are making diverse efforts to guarantee their basic rights, and we are going to continue our efforts. We need to give them such belief and trust. They may think that there's no alternative. I think if there's no alternative for them, I don't think they will be able to get out of such
For example, what about your children studying in China together? Right now, you are raising your voice in front of this U.S. audience and then in front of the UN audience. Will that make any change? Yes, I do believe so. Yesterday, we had another event at NED, and we came from Seoul all the way to Washington, D.C. Along the way, we came up with the Washington Declaration to show the direction North Korea needs to take and how international community can help us lead that kind of movement. Yesterday, you're talking about video statement that was published at NED. Well, actually, we can get into that later after listening to our ambassador. You're an actor, and you're a professor as well. You've been listening to their stories, and also you've heard the stories of North Korean defectors yesterday. So how did that make you feel? Oh, well, actually, we do have a PowerPoint right up there.
Can I have a next slide? Okay, let me use this one. So those of you who do not know, 그렇지, 예. 자 이제 좀 약간 분위기가 살아나고 있습니다.
Okay, now we are getting it. He's a great actor, right?
Boy is okay. Nice, okay. Yeah. All right. Now you kind of, and I know you all know the international law, criminal law, but there are certain things you must watch about Korean culture. Otherwise, old boy, there's a couple of things about 최민식, one of the person there is eating is it octopus? 낙지인가요? Octopus alive. So it's pretty gruesome. But they made incredible impact. And then 저건 또 만화가 있네. 저기
제가 만든.
자, 좀 얘기 좀 해주시겠어요?
Actually, there's a webtoon that I created.
Please tell us about Ankai.
I'm here today as an ambassador for human rights. I am an actor and director, Ji Tae-yu. So actually, for personal reasons, I took interest in refugee issues. So prior to this one, actually, I created a film about refugees, and I also directed that film. So this would be my second cartoon movie, animation movie. At the time of old movie, Korean movies actually had a lot of investment. But after that, investment went to the entertainment-oriented movies. So as an alternative, I decided to convey my message through a webtoon, and that's why I created Ankai. Actually, the whole thing took a lot of time. Actually, it took 10 years altogether. The movie is about, what is it about? The movie is about, actually, it's a dialect from Hamgyong province. It means wife. And a female North Korean defector was trafficked and then met a Chinese guy. And then she fell victim to the sexual molestation, sexual victim, but then finally found love. As I was doing research on North Korean issues, I looked into a lot of different things. There are many things that I could actually adopt into film, but I decided to talk about, portray basic human rights issues. So is this a webtoon? Yes, it is a webtoon right now. And based on this webtoon, I am actually working on animation. So how are we going to actually adapt that into animation? There are many different ways, 2D and 3D, and all kinds of tools. There's a lotoscoping, what's called lotoscoping. So you'll actually take an actual pictures and then use line drawing. And we can leverage AI, so you don't have to use a lot of money to create an animation. So that's what I am working on. So in 3 or 4 years, I plan to complete it. Actually, making this is not that easy, especially an independent film. You cannot, it's not easy to receive financial assistance. So how do you fund this animation? Actually, there was someone who said that they were going to make small financing. Actually, myself. So I would actually work as an actor and then come up with financing myself, and then make a movie animation that I want to make. Oh, so if you were to have another conference next year, my hope is that we would be able to see the animation in a year. So all you take is money. 여러분들께서
Basically, you need the funding. We have a 그쵸? 네.
네, 근데 이제
So this is what I want to say. That this could be most important thing that I want to say. Earlier there was Mr. Suda said Paradise on Earth project. So when you hear this, it does not. We can't get it directly right away. And there is the Korean-Japanese film director, Mr. Yang. He's shot a documentary, Goodbye Pyongyang. So how a family collapses through ideological struggle. And I do believe that this is a unification through culture. So of course, when you actually write and just try to just convey just with a picture, that alone is enough. But if you actually make it into film, the global community can watch it. Actually, True North, you would have heard of. This is an animation. And people watched a lot of this animation. And after this animation, Yodok prison camp was abolished. So internet community needed to come up with this kind of creative ways to directly and indirectly portray the reality of the human rights in North Korea. And I do believe that this can lead to a revolution. And turning to Ms. Kang. So, I mean, you arrived in Korea last October, right? Less than a year ago. So after your arrival in Korea and the reality in North Korea, if you can just touch briefly upon it, and after your arrival in North Korea, what did you want to do? If you could share that with us, please. So let me just touch upon the reality of North Korea first. Things are very difficult right now due to the pandemic. And the informal trade has been blocked and the border control has been tightened. So there are not many supplies available. And there are a lot of informal trade through Changmadang, and because it's been blocked, the prices intensified, went up about tenfold. So people want to survive, so they had to use up whatever savings they had. And the North Korean government banned the individual trade. And the North Korean government tried to actually control the sales of food through official channel, and that resulted in the skyrocketing of prices, including the price of rice. And people cannot afford to have cooked rice anymore, and people would commit suicide because of the economic hardship. And this was the situation, and still people were shot to death for watching Korean dramas. But they are not actually executed for murder, but for watching K-dramas, they were executed. It was not the case in the past, and actual life sentence was the hardest punishment before, but now people are executed for watching K-dramas. And people ask, why now? Why are you killing people? And they say, education works anymore, so this is a treason. So that was ridiculous. This is what younger generations tend to think. Oh, so that's what younger generations are thinking? Yes. And the young people, there was a murder of a government official, and his wife and children are also murdered. Earlier, you said the killer was actually a minor. I do understand CIC member. CIC.
The rights of child.
제가 말하고 싶은 건 시당 책임 비서
드리고 싶은 것은 what I want to say was that actually the officer's wife and children are killed by one boy. So he actually killed them for personal revenge. And actually, police investigated and they did not catch the killer. Well, actually, it turned out a 21-year-old young man So he wanted to actually make a event for his parents. Because we have limited time, let me ask you one more thing. Earlier, one of the panelists said that 17-year-old boys were executed. Have you actually heard that? When I was there, did not kill the minors. Then who did they kill? So minors would not be killed, but they would wait until they turn 18. There is an education center. They would be sent to a kind of prison.
The South Korean drama.
네.
If you are in middle school, maybe, and you will go to prison, the youth prison. 자, 그러면 그 하나만 더 질문하고.
Just one more question. So after that, we'll get back to Washington vision statement. Now you are in South Korea. What do you want to do? Before coming to South Korea, there are a lot of things that I wanted to do. But right now, I want to actually start a business. So you want to make money. Oh, I actually was expecting kind of human rights and something like that.
얘기 좀 해도 돈 벌어갖고 뭐 하시냐고.
네, 저는 이제
First thing I felt in South Korea was that, of course, I was appreciative of all the benefits that were provided to me, and I was educated, and I'd be able to pursue further education. So I'm going to make money. And there are also South Koreans who are suffering from poverty. So I wanted to help those people out, actually. So you're trying to help South Koreans, right?
Money, and then she wants to help the South Koreans, vulnerable people. So I appreciate that. 정말 감사합니다. 사업 계획.
So you can let you know your business plan later. I'm looking forward to it. So Mr. Kim Keum-hyuk, can you talk about your vision statement? Can you give us more details on that? So the name of the vision statement is Courage, Hope, Freedom. And our Washington Declaration for Courage, Hope, and Freedom. So Washington Declaration. Can you tell me more?
That there were 몇 명이 같이 이걸.
How many people were involved? 9 people was involved. Well, actually,
leaders, young people, they gathered and they drafted a document, very similar to, in a way, they call it vision statement, but today they call it Washington Declaration. 그 혹시 이 자리에
is there anyone here who are involved in the declaration together? Can you stand up? Oh, actually 10 people, not 9 people. Thank you. I was counting them. So you gathered together to draft this? One of the big motivation for us was that now the international community about North Korean human rights, about the future of North Korea, there's a lot of discussion going on, and many are involved in the UN and everyone. But I think who really need to lead these efforts are the North Korean defectors. And while the international community is talking about this and that thing, and they can deliver that to North Korea, however, the impact will be bigger, I think, if North Korean defectors raise their voice on that and deliver that to North Korean people inside North Korea. Of course, international community's support is very important, and we're in desperate need of that. However, if you can hear the voices of people who actually shared such experience before with more truthful voice from their heart and giving direction for the future, I thought we can have more impact on the future changes. What are the details of the declaration? So I thought about the contents. what should be the future of the human rights situation in North Korea, and also this is a very dire situation. There's a lot of difficulties. It's important to draw attention of the international community, but at the same time, what is really important is what we are going to do in the future, what kind of country that this North Korea should be, what should be the future direction, and when it becomes a normal state, what kind of world we want to build. I think these are the important things, and that is included in our declaration. Well, currently it's Washington Declaration, but maybe it can be used with more involvement of more North Korean defectors. We can raise more voices. Because I have law background, I'm very sensitive to this words. So yesterday was a vision statement, but today it's Washington Declaration. It's a declaration. Because declaration is huge, right? We have Independence Declaration. 사람들이 서명.
The freedom, liberty, and all 그런 걸 다 생각을 왜 선언문이라 그러셨어요?
But why did you change that to declaration? We got the idea from our ancestors, the 13 students under Japanese colonialism. They thought about what they should do for the independence of Joseon at the time in Japan, right? Yeah, that led to March 1st campaign movement, right? How many people? Those who are studying in Japan. The Korean student studying in Japan, they gathered in YMCA and they drafted the declaration which became the stepping stone for the March 1st movement.
Declaration of Independence and the Foundation of Modern Korea. 그래갖고.
그리고 그 3.1 운동의
So what happened? So that spirit led to the temporary government of Republic of Korea and also the constitution of the Republic of Korea right now. So the declaration we made yesterday was only 10 lines, but I think that will expand to 100 lines later. So like a new North Korea that we are dreaming of. So we hope that it will be the stepping stone for the political spirit or the national spirit of the new North Korea. We think that we want to declare that we have begun such efforts. Please give him a big hand.
제가 이제
So for the last 20 years,
went to UN and all. But first time I'm experiencing the North Korean student, young people, writing a Declaration of Independence and willing to sign할 거예요? 우리 10명 다 sign할
are you going to sign? So all 10 of them are going to sign.
their name. 자, we will
자,
future will come. 자, 오늘 그 내용을 좀 알고 싶.
So we want to know the details about, but due to the interest of time, will there be an opportunity for us to talk about that? Again, tonight at the reception from 6 p.m. So this is a preview.
Content of the a really North Korean Declaration of Independence. 그러니까 정말 북한의
So it will be something like Independence Declaration of North Korea, right?
and then tonight, and then they will actually gonna go actual detail and content of the declaration. 그때 또 참여해.
So please come. I think this is a historic moment. And also it's about our future, right? So maybe we can take that as an opportunity tonight. And Professor Yu, you saw how the young people of North Korea kind of having a talk concert yesterday.
다 똑같은 얘기 하는데 yesterday people
So everybody had like different.
really having a democratic dialogue. 막 서로 의견도 다른.
So they all had different opinions and about North Korea, about future. You saw them having this very active dialogue. How did you feel? Well, actually, before I came here, I think maybe I have some prejudice. But after I met you yesterday, I was very much influenced. I was very much stimulated. Nevertheless, I think there's a reason why we need to focus on North Korean defectors. If you give me some time, may I share my story? 15 years ago, I had some relationship with the so-called comfort women. I was supporting them. At that time, one of the women showed me her belly. She showed me the mark of the scars. When we don't have a country, if we don't have this country, Republic of Korea, we need to live, we'll be treated like dogs and pigs. We are not treated as humans. That's what she said. As I made did researches for Ankai, I learned about the human trafficking of North Korean people, and I heard that they were called as pigs. The women who are being trafficked are called as pigs. That like dogs and pigs that this comfort woman mentioned under Japanese colonialism. This is happening again in this 21st century. There are North Korean defectors who are called as pigs. We need to pay attention to their situation and also their human rights. I think we need to really talk about that. But yesterday, after I met you, now I have a glimpse of hope. We need to support. Also, we need to do our best to support based on our capacity, based on our solution. However, at the same time, maybe you can move this toward a change. Maybe North Korean defectors, maybe they can start a movement to create new kinds of unification. I'll cheer for you. I'll also do my best to support based on my capacity. Cheer. Thank you. Thank you. So due to time interest,
I will give each one of you to give a last comment. 이제 마무리를 해야 돼.
so as we need to wrap up, please, each of you, can you give us closing comment? Ms. Kang, final words. So I risk my life to come to Republic of Korea in seeking freedom. So whenever there's a chance, I will try to share the stories and experience about human rights violation. I would like to thank Ji-tae because one of the reasons why I came here is him. This is an amazing story. From beginning to the end, it's all Ji-tae. But that's true. So I really truthfully thank him, and also to all of the directors and KBS broadcasting system, people who made such progress. I really thank them. Please keep doing that for us. Thank you so much. Mr. Kim Geun-hyuk. I'm very emotional right now after Ji-tae's comments. I'm trying to control it. 1 month before, I had a shooting of a program with Professor Lee Jong-hoon. He said, while talking about human rights situation in North Korea, in Geneva, in full swing, that was only... That's 10 years ago, right? So when 2034, are we going to commemorate that 20 years anniversary? That's my responsibility. I have the sense of responsibility. 30 years later, 40 years later, if it is not resolved yet, are we going to just keep commemorating the anniversary throughout that time? These people are under the pain. It's so hard to live under inhumane condition. We don't want to commemorate that 10-year anniversary. I hope in another next year, I hope there is a lot of changes, not only for North Korean people, also for the activists. I hope we will be able to see hope during that next 10 years. All of us, this 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 North Korean defectors, will talk about hope, changes, and we'll make sure to have that change happen. So please, those who are watching this live stream outside of North Korea, inside of North Korea, please act based on your heart. Thank you. I think we just have seen the glimpse of new North Korea.
우리 유지태
So Professor Yu, please wrap it up. In this country, United States, talking about human rights situation in North Korea. Thank you for this event, Ministry of Unification, NED, CSIS. Thank you so much for making this possible. And please keep researching and making efforts on this. I will do my best too. Thank you.
Pen drafters named their vision statement as a Washington Declaration. The dignity, the hope, and freedom. It's interesting that yesterday in our dinner table, we are really enjoying each other's company. And then my dear colleague, Dr. Lin Lee, actually used the word Korean. I remember him when he was a junior officer coming to Korea, really excited, building rapport. And then soon she started to learn Korean, but only with You've been talking to too many North Koreans that you actually got the North Korean accent.
그런데 탈북자들하고 많이 이야기를 하다 보니까 탈북자 액센트를 닮으셨더라고요. 지금 아시아 담당을 하고 있기 때문에 또 일본어 액센트도 지금 actually it moves, it touching. What this means is that
almost like you are getting married or you're really looking forward, and that's for the future and things to come. And today, I'd like to say that I could actually say that our future, I'm kind of 설레임 about our future and what Korea we're going to see. And I'm very excited to see what young people right here will do. Let's give an incredible appreciation and then right now, and we will conclude this special section. Thank you. 자, 일어나갖고 인사하시죠.